More rain is expected in Kentucky today and tomorrow. The death toll now at 28 as rescuers continue to search for more victims as the region again braces for another 48 hours of heavy rain.
Absolutely horrible. Unfortunately, that death toll from the devastating floodwaters is expected to rise. Joining us now for more is Kentucky Congressman, ranking member of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform and member of the Committee on Education and Labor, James Comer. Sir, welcome back to Wake Up America. The images, they're heartbreaking. Can you give us an update and what's the latest situation in your state?
Yeah, it's really bad. The storms happened in far eastern Kentucky. That's right in the heart of Appalachia. Very rough terrain. Most of the little communities where you're seeing on TV now, they're in the valleys between two mountains. And when you have 6 inches of rain in a short period of time, there's really nowhere for the water to go. All the rivers and tributaries are backed up, so the water's really not receding very quickly. And to add to the problem, it's expected to rain 3 to 4 more inches tonight. So it's a terrible situation. The logistics are horrible trying to get in there. I think the state and federal authorities are doing the best they can, but it's a very difficult situation.
Yeah, and it's become a political issue. Governor Beshear apparently has a close relationship with the White House. Do you expect the National Guard to be called in to assist with what we've already seen as a devastating situation there?
I think that the National Guard will do whatever they're asked. I think that the governor and president will work together very well. I'm taking that from experience in Western Kentucky in my congressional district. We had the tornadoes earlier this year.
Right.
And they were devastating in that part of the state, and the state and federal authorities worked very well together in that situation. But one thing that Governor Beshear said about Eastern Kentucky that's the same in Western Kentucky is you have these rural areas, they're high poverty levels, and it's going to take a long time to rebuild. And hopefully the state and federal government won't forget about these areas a few months after the tragedies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, our prayers are with everyone there. Congressman, I do want to pivot now to Hunter Biden. Senator Ron Johnson said over the weekend that the FBI can't, quote, be trusted to get to the bottom of the allegations involving Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I've had a sneaky suspicion about the FBI for a long time on this situation with Hunter Biden because the evidence is so overwhelming to his wrongdoing. I mean, we've been talking about on your show these suspicious activity reports, 150 suspicious activity reports while Joe Biden was vice president. So you're talking about many years ago, a suspicious activity reports when the bank notifies the federal government that they're pretty confident there's some criminal activity being conducted by their client. He had 150 of these reports filed by at least 5 different banks. So you take that and the fact that his travel logs were public knowledge. They had the computer a long time. They knew that he was traveling, meeting with our adversaries, doing business with the Chinese spy agencies.
Yeah.
But yet nothing happened. So, why was there not any action by the FBI any sooner?
So I kind of want to drill down on this, Congressman, because we've talked about this, as you just said, we've talked about this for months now. The problem is that all roads could ultimately lead to the president, could lead to Joe Biden here, and his role in working with Hunter, especially as he dealt with overseas businesses. Is Hunter too big to indict as long as Joe Biden's in the Oval Office?
They probably had that position, but I think that you all have done such a good job reporting this. The conservative media outlets have done a good job. Now you have media outlets like CBS that are finally coming on board, talking about all the wrongdoing with Hunter's uncle Jim, and the potential liability that Joe Biden has. So I think that they're under pressure now to do something. They just don't know what to do. And once they do something, the question that people like Ron Johnson and Jim Jordan and I are going to have, why didn't this happen any sooner? You've known about this for nearly a decade, yet was this a cover-up? Would this have ever been known if the computer hadn't been leaked out to the public?
I don't think so. He also never registered as a foreign agent, which is a punishable by 5 years, 1938. That's exactly. A FARA violation. People go away for FARA violations all the time.
And there shouldn't be any immediate family members as registered agents, period. So legally, you shouldn't even have that rule.
Right.
If a president's son can be an agent. This is the same thing they indicted Mike Flynn on. in the Trump administration. He wasn't related to Donald Trump. This guy's the president's son meeting with our adversaries. This is bad. And the question is, what did Joe Biden know, and when did he know it?
Congressman, that's why I say, let's wake up, America. You know,
Right.
it is long past time. Good to see you, sir. We're thinking about the situation in your home state.
Thank you, sir.
Come back and keep us posted on that. Thank you.
Hey, guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number. 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532. Thank you.